our sense of who we are, our sense of the world around us, is based on our desires. I'll give you an example. My older brother is an alcoholic. And one time he came to visit me at the monastery, and as we were driving from the airport into town, we went past the one place in town that sells liquor. Now, I had never noticed this place, because I was not interested. As soon as we drive past, my brother says, "Jeff, can I borrow the car tomorrow?" I said, "No." I've been his brother long enough, I know what he's thinking. But his world was different from mine. As they say, if an alcoholic goes into a house, they know very quickly where the alcohol is kept. If a monk goes into a house, they know very quickly where the dark chocolate is kept. Our sense of the world is dependent on our desires. Our sense of who we are is also dependent on our desires. And what the Buddha is telling us with the Four Noble Truths is you have to look at your desires. Are they leading to happiness or are they leading to suffering? Now we all know that the Buddha says suffering is based on craving. There's craving for sensuality, craving for becoming, craving for not becoming. Sensuality is what I talked about just now, is thinking about sensual pleasures, our fascination with planning, our next meal, our next trip, our next whatever the sensual pleasure is going to be. The problem is not the pleasure itself, the problem is our fascination with thinking about it. Again, you can think about tonight's meal for the whole hour and make different changes to what you're going to do, where you're going to eat it. The meal itself is not so much the problem, it's the amount of time that's put into thinking about it. As for craving for becoming, the word becoming basically means your sense of who you are in a particular world of experience. That's going to be based on a desire. And again, if you have a desire for a pizza, who you are is, one, the person who will enjoy the pizza, and two, the person who has the ability to get the pizza. In other words, you as the consumer and you as the provider. That's your sense of who you are. And then the world around you is what is going to be helpful in getting the pizza and what's going to be getting in the way. And anything that's not related to pizza is totally irrelevant in that world. Once you've had the pizza, then what's the next desire? Okay, you have other desires, and there'll be a different you and a different world. Now sometimes you have conflicting desires at the same time, which is why we think we have conflict inside. And also have conflict in the world outside. But basically, this is what the Buddha means by the word becoming. And it's your sense of who you want to be and the world you want to have. That's a kind of craving that will lead to suffering. Then there's a craving for no becoming. You get into a particular sense of who you are and you don't like it. You want to abolish it. In this way, and then that's craving for not becoming. Now the Buddha says we suffer because of these different kinds of craving. But not all craving is bad. The craving to gain awakening is actually part of the path. The craving to get rid of unskillful thoughts in your mind, the craving to develop skillful thoughts in your mind, this is all part of right effort, which is part of the path. So what the Buddha is doing is, with the Four Noble Truths, is teaching us to look at our desires, realizing our desires are going to shape our sense of who we are, the world that we live in, and they can go in two very different directions, either leading to happiness or leading to suffering.